Dana White is not just somebody that's connected in the world of sports. He's a friend. I love the guy, personally. So this is a very hard subject for me. We talk all the time. We certainly connected briefly since this happened. Mm-hmm. He knew there's no way on earth that I wasn't going to talk about it. My heart goes out to his family because this is a very, very embarrassing situation. He says it has never, ever happened before. He's completely ashamed and utterly disgusted with himself that he finds himself in this situation, that he would ever have done such a thing to a woman he's been married to for 30 years, who's the mother of his 3 children, and he makes no excuses for it. And I think it's important to point that out. I also think it's important to point out that she validates what he asserts, that it's never happened before, that it was completely out of character. And she even pointed to the fact that they were out and they were drinking and all of that other stuff as well.
If he hadn't been so hell-bent on coming across to some degree at that point as self-righteous in terms of explaining how honest he was to everybody, Roger Goodell, Steve Bichetti, Ozzie Newsome, and everybody else, had he not done that, I think Ray Rice would have been back with the Baltimore Ravens by now. So he did this to himself because of the violence. He did this to himself because he dimed out the owner of Steve Bichetti. By the way, I don't have a problem with the photo. I don't have a problem. If he was 30, 35, 40 years old, that's different.
Right.
14, 15 years old. 14, 15 years old.
Right.
So now some folks are going to get to look at Jerry Jones, and who's from Arkansas. It's the South. So we understand from an historical perspective where it all comes from, what the South represented at least once upon a time, and in some people's eyes still to this day.
But then to sit back and talk about how you won't even apologize at the time for it being anti-Semitic because you don't deem yourself to be anti-Semitic. It's just irresponsible. It really, really is. And so the suspension is warranted. There is no doubt about that. By the way, it's not just a 5-game suspension. It's potentially longer. They say a minimum of 5 games. From what I've been told, Joe Tsai is completely done with him. He's dealing with him because he's under contract and he has to, but he's completely done with Kyrie Irving. That people try to throw out there insinuations that the Holocaust didn't exist, that Adolf Hitler is somebody to be celebrated. You've got a different problem. That's egregious, that's irresponsible, that's wrong, that's uncalled for, that's heinous. That's wrong on so many levels. And to be lost and clueless.
You do the maths. Tick, tock, gun, shot,